Hey guys, welcome to the party. I think it's going. I'm so glad y'all are here tonight. I'm thankful for y'all joining me. And if you're watching live, let me know if you're live in the comments or let me know if you're watching the replay. We have a lot of books to go through tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I don't know about you, but school is wrapping up. We are just about done. We homeschool. I've got 4 kids, ages 8, 6-year-old twins, and then a 1-year-old. And so life is busy, a little bit fast and furious, but we are almost to summer. And so I have a few really good books that are good any time of year. But I picked some thinking summer. And then a few of if you let me know about them, okay? So, let's get started. So, this is, during the month of May is going to be the non-fiction. So, Spotlight is on non-fiction. Every month, PaperPie is doing a spotlight on types of books. And so, since this party is going to end, hopefully in the month of May, I'm going to show some of these. So, check out our spotlight books. But also, don't forget our free book of the month. They're free books of the month. For every $50 you spend, PaperPie will send you another book for free. I think sometimes you also have that option to donate a book. And again, for the month of May, it's Foster Care Awareness Month. And so we do a lot to support foster care kiddos with brand new books, and so that's near and dear to my heart, and so I love to support that. So look at the free books of the month, and then they change every month, so make sure to check that out. And then the savings shelf, which I think right now are 40% off some of our really good titles, and some of them are just so popular books. And so, but let's get started. So 100 things to know about the ocean. There's also 100 things to know about space, animals. I think there's a couple of other different ones. But if you have a kiddo who's all about facts, or maybe you're taking a trip to the beach, this one is really, really good. Number 74, the only sea without a shore is the Sargasso Sea. Okay then. Eels' eyes grow 8 times bigger in the ocean. So I guess if you have a freshwater eel versus a ocean eel. A ghost ship. So there's just lots of really interesting facts. Really good to peruse. What I love about our nonfiction books is that if a kiddo is not a big reader, they don't have to read the whole thing all at once. They can read just a little bit and then move on. One of my other favorite books are Explore America's National Parks. If you're doing any traveling this summer, we're pretty close to the Smoky Mountain National Park. This book is kind of organized by region. And when we got this book, I was a little surprised because it's not like National Geographic pictures. It's kind of illustrated. And it is a beautiful coffee table worthy book. I love this one for adults and kids. This one is so good. It has a really good overview of each of the national parks. So if you're going to be there for 2 days, it's check out these things. I love it if you're a fan of national parks like me, but also if you just want to open up the world to your kids a little bit. Even if you're never gonna be able to go there, it's just a beautiful book. There's lots of information. There's facts. There's things to do. It's just a really cool book. So if you have any interest in the national parks, check this one out. We also love this one. I've been showing older kid books, but I'll show some little kid books in a minute too. So Bear Grylls Survival Guide. There are some fiction chapter books by Bear Grylls. From PaperPie, which actually is kind of how my family got started with PaperPie, but I also love his field guides, and then this, which is the Survival Camp book. So this one has things to do if you run into a polar bear, or different history type things. That's arranged by region. So this is forest and mountains, things that you might see, like Bigfoot. So some of it is kind of folklore, folk tales. Some of it is history. Some of it is regional things you might find. There's some survival stuff. There's things about tools and building shelters and like how to like emergency first aid, stuff like that, how to tie knots. There's so much to this book. And I love it for like every boy. Oh my gosh, every boy needs this book. But it's one of those that you can read a few pages and then you can be done. You don't have to read the whole thing in order. You don't have to read the whole thing at once. And there's so much engaging things. If you have a kid who's outdoorsy, a kid who likes camping, a kid who likes adventuring, things like that, check out the Bear Grylls Survival Camp. It is well worth the price. I will happily say that. Also, since we are talking about summer, never get bored outdoors. I'm not gonna lie, I got this for my son's birthday 2 years ago, thinking we just had extra free books we needed to redeem. And I was like, that looks interesting. He's probably not gonna love it. This was maybe his favorite book he got that year. And he has perused it. It's kind of a flex bound book, and it's not like an activity book that you write in, but it has all sorts of activities. And some of them are like, go outside. What do you see? Write a poem. And then others, it's like, can you build something? Like, set something on fire. I don't think anything says to set it on fire, but like, it's raining. What can you do in the rain? You see a rainbow. How do rainbows work? This one's write a haiku. They're like, go outside with an umbrella. Find some rocks. Find some leaves. Can you find different kinds of bugs? All sorts of things like that. So if your kiddo ever says, I'm bored, hand them this book. So this one is Never Get Bored Outdoors. There's also Never Get Bored, the original. There's Never Get Bored Draw and Paint. That one is really good if you have an artsy kiddo. But I love it when my kids are like, I'm so bored. And I'm like, figure it out. Have fun. Go do something. I am that parent, by the way. Another one that is really good for giving kids something to do, that's a screen-free option. This is the My Year Of series. So this is My Year of Art. This is kind of like a 365 journal prompt type book, but they can have some off-the-wall prompts. So this one is the My Year of Art. Which activities, objects, or things do these lines make you think of? And here's some like squiggly lines. Find some pictures of different animal eyes. Notice the variety of colors and shapes. Fill in the circles below with a different eye, or you can base them on your research or simply make them up. So there's some history in some of the fonts. There's some like use different media. There's some like really good writing or art tips that I would not have ever known. And there's 365 of them. So you can have a kiddo do one a day. You can have them do as many as they want to. We use these a lot during laydown time when I'm not necessarily making them take a nap, but I need them to chill out for a minute, you know? So there's also My Year of, oh my goodness, Discovery, which everything is STEM based. That's the one we have for Oliver. And it's one of them is like, imagine the wheel had never been invented. What would you use instead? That one's really interesting. There's also My Year of Travel, I think, where all the prompts are travel based. My Year of Writing, so like a really good writing prompt book. They're really, really cool. The price is really good, and it's really good for engaging your kiddos in ways that are kind of like off the wall. While we're talking about older kids, I'm going to show you some of our really good chapter books. We have several good chapter books. If you have a kiddo who's kind of like into fantasy or mystery, we even have some historical fiction, which is kind of my favorite genre, but I wasn't really into it when I was a kid. But this is Kinsey and Max, Breaking News. These guys are like budding like journalists, and they kind of go around and it's kind of like a spy mystery novel. They've got to figure out the problem. So it says, what would you do if you woke up in a strange place? If your whole life changed in an instant and you had no idea what was going on? Twins Kinsey and Max Gray lives are turned upside down when they're whisked off to London and discover their parents are missing. As the situation unfolds, so many things don't add up. Their strange new school, the bizarre grannies on the street, the coded messages they keep finding, and the feeling that all around them Adults are keeping secrets. Things can never go back to the way they were, but the twins are determined to uncover the truth. So this one is one of our chapter books for older kids. There are no pictures. I would say this one is good for middle school, maybe even up if you're, depending on your kiddo, if they're into like spy type books too. So this one is really fun. I also really liked this one. This is The Mystery of the Clockwork Sparrow. Again, kind of a more mystery whodunit type book. And this one is set kind of in, like, if I remember correctly, it's like 1930s London. And so there's maybe in 1940. So it's not quite in the middle of World War II, but it's like heading that way. And so for someone who knows their history, you can get some of those really interesting history bits, but it's just a good read, even if if those go over their head, you know? A little bit, it's just a really fun read. Like, there's some spy stuff. There's like they just have to figure out who stole the thing, and it's just really good. So, I really liked this one. And again, I would say upper elementary, middle school for sure, maybe even older. But then we also have some other really good chapter books for elementary, middle school. We just have some really good chapter books. If you need more recommendations, let me know. But let's go for little kids. This is a good one. Another good activity, summer activity type book. So this is Good as New. We also have All Better, Hats Off, Time to Brush, and these are all reusable sticker books. So this one, the stickers are Band-Aids, which my kids love. They're like a thick plastic. And what I love about them is that when they get dirty, you run them under some water, you might just rub them off, get all the yuck off, and they stick again. We've had the first one we got for about 4 years. Oh no, he bumped his chin. Don't worry, crocodile, a cast will make it good as new, and you'll feel all better too. Here's a giraffe. Let me get the giraffe sticker. You just stick it on. It's really sweet. It's a really cute book, and my kids love putting the stickers on. And like I said, when the stickers get yucky, you reuse them. So as long as you don't lose your stickers, you can use it again and again and again. So we really like Good as New, All Better, Hats Off, all of those. One of the ones that is new to me, this one is super fun. It says Night Night on the Farm, Read Aloud, Bedtime Stories. This is a really thick, sturdy board book, really great for kiddos. It's bedtime in the chicken coop. The chicks want to hear their favorite story. They're tucked in bed, ready to listen. And then you pull out a little book, and it's like stuck in there. You can't pull it out. If a kid really tried to tear it up, I'm sure they could. But it's a pretty decent, it's well done, I will say. And then you have this little bitty book to read, which is so cute, and you flip the page, and then there's another one to read to the sheep, there's one to read to the horses, and there's one to read to the cows, and it's just so cute. It's so cute. It's such a cute bedtime book, especially if you do a lot of reading at bedtime and they're like, I get to read to the cows. It's just really cute. And it's so sturdy. It's so sturdy. Like, my 1-year-old carries this around. I'm pretty sure it's been dropped down the stairs before. And so I will say it is best to have these kind of tucked in. Don't leave them out like that, because it could tear easier than that. But I'm really pleased with the quality of this book for what it is, So this is super, super cool. Like I said, I'm sure it's possible a kid could tear it up. They'd have to try pretty hard. Which also brings me to PaperPie's replacement policy. If something happens to your books, this does not necessarily count for some of the painting books I'm going to show you, or like the journaling books that you're writing in. But if it's a storybook, or if it's a lift the flap book and it gets torn up, pretty much any of our books except for activity books. If something happens to it, let me know, because I can get it replaced for 30 or 50% off. So if it gets torn up, even years from now, it's for the life of the book. Even years from now, if it gets torn up, let me know, because I can get it replaced. So 2 of our super fun summer activities that I love year round are our magic painting books and our water wonders books. These were out of stock for a really long time, but they are back and I'm so excited. These are really super thick books and all you need is water. With this one, you can use a sponge, you can use like a paintbrush, you can use your hand finger painting. You use just water, you put it on the white part and the white part comes out in color. When you're done, you fan the pages out, stand it up, let it dry, and about 10 to 15 minutes later, you can do it again. So I have 3 different ones. I let my kids paint them and then I swap it up, let them dry and then I swap it up and let them paint a different one. I love this for when we need to kill some time or when they're bored out of their minds or whatever. This one is so good. They've done it again and again and again and not gotten bored of it. So I love our Water Wonders, not to mention their thick, sturdy book. This one is similar. It just needs water, but it is not reusable. So these are just really beautiful, and there's all sorts of different ones. There's like mythical creatures, there's Cinderella, there's animals, zoo, jungle, rainforest, all sorts of different ones. This one is garden, and I am a little partial to this one. I like doing these too. All you need is water, use a paintbrush, you paint on them, and when they dry, you can see this one has been painted just a little bit. When they dry, it dries the color on, and it ends up looking like a watercolor painting. The pages are perforated, so you just tear them out. There's a flap in the back if you'd rather flip it over instead of pulling them out. But these are just so beautiful. The color comes from the black lines, and it makes them look really, really pretty. And if you get 2 of the same one and you have 2 different kids do it, they're not going to look exactly the same, just because of the way like the color moves on the page. And so these are really, really fun. I get them, I think, for every birthday for my kiddos. This makes a really good birthday present, pretty much for anyone, because again, like I like doing them. It's super simple. It's easy to clean up. I can't say enough good things about our magic painting books. All right, 2 more. So this is Nibbles. Nibbles is one of our best sellers. It's one of our best storybooks. I love Nibbles. This one is good for probably pre-K through 1st, 2nd grade. My twins really love Nibbles. We also have some Nibbles board books as well that are good for even younger kiddos, babies. This one, Nibbles, this is the original. Nibbles Gets Out. He is a book monster and he loves to chew on books. And so he's going to chew his way through this book until he finds Little Red Riding Hood, and he's going to change the story. And so if you have kiddos who are familiar with Little Red Riding Hood or Jack and the Beanstalk, this one is just really super fun. Then at the end, you have to, oh, he got out. Sorry. The page before that, you are trapping him before he can get out. But oh no, he's going to make it out to more adventures. We also have Nibbles the Dinosaur Guide, Nibbles the Bedtime Book, Nibbles the Very Hungry Book Monster, lots of different Nibbles books that are really so fun and so sweet. So make sure you check out Nibbles. And then last but not least, with summer upon us, I know you may not be reading, or you may not be thinking about your kid learning how to read, or maybe you are thinking about that because you need them to not go through the summer slide, or you need to help them get ready for the coming school year, or maybe you're just trying to get ahead a little bit for your kiddos. This is my favorite set for learning, teaching your kid how to read, encouraging them for how to read. This is the My First Reading Library, and I will tell you this is one of our more expensive sets, but host a party like I did and you can get it for free. That's how I got mine. What I love about this is that the green section goes first, then you move on to the orange section, and then you move on to the purple section. We started using this with my son when he was kindergarten. He was a really easily frustrated reader, and I just love that it has this shared reading. So I would read this part, he would read this part, and he would try. It had been so hard to get him to like try to read. And when we got this set, just the few words on the page, they were easily decodable. It I don't know, it just gave him the confidence to try. And now he's a really confident reader. He's in second grade, about to finish second grade right now. And we have pretty much gone through all the books in this one, and he is a really confident reader. So this is a good set for pre-K. Depending on your kiddo, if they are ready to read before they start school, then this would be good to start with them as soon as they're ready to start reading, as soon as they really show an interest, all the way through probably second grade. And so this, like I said, is probably one of our more expensive sets, but it lasts and it is so good, such a useful tool. There's also the reading comprehension questions in the back. With my twins that were in kindergarten this year, we used this quite a bit. We didn't start at the beginning of the year. We started about in the middle of the year when they were ready, but the green is numbered. It builds on itself. Once you're through the green section, move on to the orange section. And some of these are like folk tales, nursery rhymes, stories your kids are already familiar with, which helps with the context. And then you move on to the purple section. And I tell you what, once they're done with this set, they are a confident reader. And I'm so stoked about that. So if you need help teaching your kid to read, or your kid is early in elementary and they're kind of struggling, let me know. Let's throw you a party. Let's get you this for free. And let's, encourage your kid to be a really good reader. So I know that it's helped me. It has 50 books in this one set. These books are only sold in the set, so you can't buy them individually. You have to buy the whole set to get them. But it's really good. It's well worth it. Per book, it's one of our cheapest options, but altogether, I understand, could be more outside of your budget, which I totally understand. So let me know if this is something you're interested in, if you are interested in hosting a party, or if you need to get this set for your kiddos in some other way. So if you have any questions, let me know. Shoot me a message. Whatever you need, I am more than happy to make specific recommendations for your kiddos. Anything else you're looking for the summertime, we've got some really cool STEM toys and activities and really great puzzles also. But yeah, let me know if there's anything I can do. And